The security footage played on my office monitor, showing exactly what happened yesterday afternoon. Amanda, my daughter-in-law of 6 months, was throwing my few possessions onto their manicured lawn while my son Michael stood silently in the doorway. "We're tired of supporting your pathetic existence," her voice crackled through the speakers. "Go find some shelter that takes in worthless old women." I watched myself calmly picking up my fallen photos, my husband's old watch, and a small box containing 30 years of memories. The neighbors peeked through their curtains, some filming on their phones, as Amanda continued her tirade. "And don't think Michael will help you anymore. We're starting a family, and we can't waste money on someone who couldn't even save for retirement." If she'd only known that I owned not just their house, but the entire development at the Davidson Property Group, one of the largest real estate companies in the city, was built by the worthless old woman she was screaming at. I switched off the footage and turned to face the floor-to-ceiling windows of my penthouse office. Below, the city sparkled, my city in many ways. 30 years of careful investments, always operating through layers of corporations, never letting anyone know that Sarah Chin, the quiet widow who worked as a part-time cleaner, was actually one of the wealthiest property owners in 3 states. "Mrs. Chen," my assistant Jessica's voice came through the intercom. "Your son's mortgage application just came in. Send it through." The document appeared on my screen. Michael and Amanda Davidson, applying for a $750,000 mortgage to buy their rented home, the same home they'd just thrown me out of. They'd been renting it at well below market rate, though they didn't know it was my doing. "Also," Jessica continued, "the video of yesterday's incident is trending locally. Several tenants' rights groups are calling for action against the Davidsons." I sighed, remembering how proud Michael had been when he married Amanda, the ambitious real estate agent who promised to elevate his social status. How quickly she'd started commenting on my clothes, my job, my modest lifestyle. "Mother, why don't you get a better job?" she asked during family dinners. "It's embarrassing telling my friends my mother-in-law scrubs toilets. I never told them that I kept cleaning houses because it kept me grounded, reminded me of where I started. That every property I bought was first carefully cleaned by my own hands, every investment personally inspected while wearing my cleaner's uniform." My late husband James had understood. "You built this empire with hands that weren't afraid of hard work," he'd say. "Never let anyone make you ashamed of that." A knock at my office door interrupted my thoughts. "Come in." Maria, one of my longest-serving housekeepers, entered with tears in her eyes. "Mrs. Chen, we all saw the video. How could they do that to you?" I smiled at her concern. Maria was one of the few who knew my dual identity, having worked with me for 20 years. "It's okay, Maria. Sometimes people need to learn hard lessons about judging others. But Miss Amanda, she's been horrible to all the cleaning staff in the building too. Treating us like we're invisible." "I know. I've been watching, documenting, waiting to see if she'd learn on her own." "How's your daughter's college fund coming along?" "Thanks to your scholarship program, Elena will graduate MIT debt-free next year." Maria beamed with pride. She still can't believe the mysterious Mrs. Davidson approved her application. Another of my aliases, the philanthropic widow Mrs. Davidson, who funds education for employees' children. The irony that I used Michael's father's name for my charitable work wasn't lost on me. My phone buzzed. A text from Michael. "Mom, I'm sorry about yesterday, but Amanda's right. We need to focus on our future. I can help you find a nice retirement home." A retirement home. My son, who lived in my house, wanted to put me in a home while applying for a mortgage for my company. "Jessica," I called through the intercom, "please schedule a meeting with the Davidsons tomorrow regarding their mortgage application." And Maria? "Yes, Mrs. Chen. Please have my usual cleaning uniform ready. I think it's time for the owner of Davidson Property Group to personally inspect one of her properties." "You're going to tell them?" Maria's eyes widened. "No," I smiled, pulling out the folder containing the rental agreement. "I'm going to teach them." I spent the rest of the afternoon reviewing their financial documents. Amanda's real estate business was struggling as she bragged about her success. Michael's teaching salary was modest. They'd been living beyond their means, counting on buying the house to establish their social status. Another text from Michael. "Amanda's planning a housewarming party once we close on the house. Her clients will finally see we're not just renters. Maybe it's best if you don't come." I opened my laptop and began typing. Dear Mr. and Mrs. Davidson, thank you for your mortgage application to Davidson Property Group. We've scheduled an inspection and personal meeting with the owner tomorrow at 2 p.m. to discuss your request. Please note that all current residents must be present, including any family members who have resided at the property within the past month. Regards, Office of Sarah Davidson, CEO. I use my legal name, Sarah Davidson Chen, so rarely that even Michael didn't know it. Tomorrow he would. Jessica, please send this email to the Davidsons and contact our legal department. I want all the documentation about my ownership of the company ready. Yes, Mrs. Chen. And the trending video. Let it spread. Sometimes shame is a powerful teacher. As night fell over the city, I stood in my office looking down at the lights below. Somewhere out there, my son and his wife were probably celebrating what they thought was their impending home purchase, never suspecting that the worthless old woman they'd thrown out was watching from the penthouse of the city's most prestigious building. I touched the worn silver watch in my pocket, James' last gift to me. You always said our son needed to learn the value of hard work, I whispered. I think tomorrow's lesson is long overdue. Sometimes the poorest people are the ones with the most money, and sometimes the richest are those who never forgot what it means to work with their hands. Tomorrow, Amanda would learn which one she was. I picked up my cleaning uniform from its hook behind my office door. One last inspection to do. At precisely 2 p.m. the next day, I stood in my cleaning uniform outside the house I technically owned, watching Amanda's Mercedes pull into the driveway. She and Michael emerged, dressed like they were heading to a board meeting rather than a mortgage discussion. What is she doing here? Amanda hissed when she spotted me. Michael, I thought you were handling this. Mom, please. Michael stepped forward. This isn't a good time. We have a meeting with the property owner. I know. I held up my tablet displaying the Davidson Property Group logo. Shall we begin the inspection? What? No, you don't understand. Amanda laughed dismissively. We're meeting with Mrs. Davidson herself. The owner. Yes, I nodded, using my key to open the front door. You are. The confusion on their faces would have been comical if it weren't so sad. They followed me inside, Amanda practically vibrating with indignation. This is ridiculous. I'm calling the property management office right now. Go ahead, I said calmly, running my finger along the mantel. Jessica will confirm that Sarah Davidson Chen is currently conducting your inspection. Michael froze. Davidson Chen? Your father's name was James Davidson. I continued, examining the window frames. When we married, I took his name legally, though I kept Chen for my more modest work. You're lying. Amanda's voice shook. This is some pathetic attempt. I pulled out my phone and dialed the office, putting it on speaker. Jessica, please confirm my schedule for the Davidsons. Yes, Mrs. Davidson Chen. You're currently conducting a mortgage application inspection at 1447 Maple Grove. Would you like me to send through the ownership documentation as well? Amanda sank onto the couch, her perfect blazer wrinkling. This can't be happening. The funny thing about wealth, I said, still inspecting their housekeeping, is that it shows itself in how you treat others, not in what you own. Your baseboards need cleaning, by the way. All this time, Michael whispered, the cleaning jobs, the modest apartment before I moved out, were choices, I finished, because true wealth isn't about showing off. It's about creating opportunity for others while never forgetting where you came from. I opened my tablet, displaying their financial records. Speaking of which, let's discuss your mortgage application. Your current income doesn't support the purchase price, and your credit is concerning. But we have to buy it. Amanda stood up. I've already told everyone at my agency, my clients. Perhaps you should have thought of that before throwing the owner out onto the lawn. The silence that followed was deafening. Through the window, I could see Maria and her cleaning team arriving for their regular service. All employees who'd received housing assistance, educational scholarships, and health care through my company. Those cleaning ladies, Amanda said slowly, the ones I told to use the service entrance, are valued members of the Davidson Property Group family. Many of their children are in college thanks to our scholarship program. The same program that rejected your recent application for your unborn child, I believe. Michael's head snapped up. You're pregnant? Amanda at least had the grace to look ashamed. I was going to tell you. I thought once we owned the house, you'd have social status. I finished. a place in the right circles. Tell me, what circles welcome people who throw elderly women onto the street? I pulled up the viral video on my tablet. The comments were scathing, with many recognizing Amanda from her real estate business. Your rental agreement expires next month, I continued. Given recent events, I don't think we'll be renewing it. Mom, please, Michael finally found his voice. We'll lose everything. Like I supposedly lost everything yesterday, I met his eyes. When you stood silent while your wife threw away 30 years of my memories. I can explain. No need. I pulled out a thick folder. This contains 2 options. Option 1 is eviction proceedings, effective immediately. Option 2 is a chance to learn what real value looks like. Amanda grabbed the folder, hands shaking. Inside were employment contracts for both of them. You can't be serious, she whispered. These are for maintenance and cleaning staff positions. Entry level, I nodded. The same way I started. 6 months of honest work, learning every aspect of property management from the ground up. If you complete it, we can discuss a new rental agreement, maybe even a future mortgage application. And if we refuse, then you have 30 days to vacate and your current conduct becomes a matter of public record for future landlords to review. Michael picked up the contracts, reading carefully. All this time you were building this empire. Why didn't you tell me? Would it have changed how you saw the value of hard work? Would it have stopped you from letting your wife throw me out? The cleaning crew outside was watching through the windows now, including Maria's daughter Elena, home from MIT for the summer and working alongside her mother. Your choice, I said, heading for the door. But know this, true poverty isn't about empty bank accounts. It's about empty hearts that have forgotten how to value people above possessions. I left them there, surrounded by the luxury they thought would define them, and joined my cleaning crew outside. Elena, I smiled at Maria's daughter. How would you like to learn about property management this summer? We might have some positions opening up. 6 months later, I stood in my penthouse office watching another security video. This time, it showed Amanda carefully cleaning an elderly tenant's apartment, taking extra time to help the woman organize her medications and grocery delivery. She's changed, Maria commented, bringing me my afternoon tea. They both have. Indeed, Michael and Amanda had surprised everyone by not just accepting their entry-level positions, but embracing them. Amanda had traded her designer suits for a cleaning uniform, working alongside the same staff she'd once dismissed. Michael had joined the maintenance crew, learning plumbing and electrical work with genuine enthusiasm. Their new rental application came in today, Jessica announced, entering with a folder. Along with this, she handed me a handwritten letter from Amanda. Dear Mother, not Mrs. Davidson Chin, not the owner, but Mother, because I hope I can still earn the right to call you that. These past 6 months have taught me more than just how to clean properly or treat people respectfully. They've taught me what true dignity looks like. Yesterday, a tenant thanked me for helping with her groceries. She said I reminded her of you, how you used to personally help her even though you owned the building. I cried in the supply closet for an hour after that, wondering how I could have been so blind to real value. Michael and I are expecting a girl. We'd like to name her Sarah, after the strongest woman we know, if you'll permit. Not because of your wealth or position, but because of how you've taught us that true worth lies in how we treat others, with deepest respect and love. Amanda. I set the letter down, remembering another young woman 30 years ago who'd learned similar lessons about humility and hard work. Their performance reviews are exceptional, Jessica added. The tenants specifically request them now. Through the window, I could see Michael on a maintenance call, patiently explaining to a young tenant how to prevent pipes from freezing in winter. He looked happier than I'd seen him in years, proudly wearing his work uniform. They've applied for a much smaller apartment than before, Maria noted, looking at their application, within their actual means. And they've enrolled in the company's education program, Jessica added. Amanda's studying property management, Michael's getting certified in building systems. I smiled, picking up their application. Tell them the owner would like to meet. When they entered my office an hour later, still in their work uniforms, the change was striking. Gone was Amanda's artificial polish, replaced by genuine warmth. Michael stood straighter, with quiet confidence rather than social anxiety. First, I said, congratulations on the baby. Amanda touched her growing belly. We meant what we said about the name. You've taught us so much. About more than just buildings, Michael added. About dignity, respect, real value. Then let's talk about your future with Davidson Property Group. I opened their file. Your supervisors recommend you for advancement. There's a junior property manager position opening. Actually, Amanda interrupted softly, we'd like to stay in our current positions a while longer. There's still so much to learn from the ground up. I sat back, pleasantly surprised. And your social circle? Your real estate clients? They don't matter, Michael said firmly. What matters is doing honest work we can be proud of. Like you taught us. In that case, I pulled out a new contract. How would you like to manage our resident services program? Working with tenants, coordinating maintenance and cleaning teams, ensuring everyone is treated with the respect they deserve. Their eyes widened at the opportunity, not because of the salary, but because of the responsibility to care for others. One condition, I added. You'll need to train under Maria for another 6 months. Learn from someone who's never forgotten the value of hard work and kindness. We'd be honored, Amanda whispered. As they left my office, I watched them join their colleagues in the service elevator, no longer too proud to ride with the cleaning staff. Your grandchild will be born into wealth, Maria observed, but not the kind that fits in a bank account. No, I agreed, something far more valuable. Sometimes the greatest inheritances are the lessons we learn when we lose our false pride, and sometimes the richest family legacies aren't built on money, but on the understanding that true wealth lies in how we treat every single person who crosses our path. Jessica, I called, please order a new nameplate for their office. Davidson Family Resident Services. It's time for the next generation to learn how to serve before they lead.